How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Storyworks podcast. I am your host, Zac G.
And I'm your co-host, Andrew Hall.
And we make these statements freely. Today we are talking about an awesome show that Andrew has been on my ass to watch.
I've been hounding him.
Rightfully so, because it is a masterfully crafted show. It's beautiful, it's funny, it's suspenseful. It is Severance.
Yes. Ben Stiller executive produced and directed, created by Dan Erickson.
Yeah. Written by Dan Erickson?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Really fucking cool to see Ben Stiller come into a directing role like this.
Dude, it's crazy.
I know he does a lot of producing and stuff, but I can't think off the top of my head like a lot of projects he's directed.
When I looked up his production company, the movies that I was seeing were like Tropic Thunder, Zoolander.
Right. Like
Ben
it's the
Stiller
comedies.
movies.
Yeah, exactly. So this was
to see the shift into something much different.
Yes, for sure. I mean, when you showed me the trailer and then I saw fucking produced and directed by Ben Stiller.
Yeah,
I was
man.
Like,
he did.
Serious?
I think he did like 5 of the 9 episodes or something like that.
Yeah. It was him and one other director. This show is a trip. I've only watched 2 episodes, so we're kind of going into an overview and just kind of what we like about it so far.
Yeah.
Andrew has finished it.
I finished it twice.
So twice, yeah. He's got the extra insight on it. So
and I've listened, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna plug another podcast here. Actually,
put respect.
The Severed podcast. Oh man, it's the ultimate. It's not like necessarily a companion podcast. Like it's not made by Apple TV or anything like that. It's just made by a fan of the show.
It's a spiritually.
Yeah, and man, it's like the ultimate deep dive. It goes line by line, scene by scene, goes deep into like the cast and crew and what other projects they've worked on before, the inspirations behind the show for Dan Erickson.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller's thoughts on it, like as he was pitched the idea, basically.
That's cool. Yeah.
Super cool podcast. I think it's 12 episode podcast or something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Each episode's about an hour or so long, maybe a little longer.
So there's a couple episodes that are not fully centered around like episodes of Severed.
There are certain episodes that are like the premiere is a 2-parter. Like
gotcha.
The first episode covers the first half of episode 1.
Okay.
The second episode covers the second half of episode 1.
I like that. I like that a lot.
He goes like deep in.
Yeah. Each episode is very split.
Yeah, very much so. But yeah, so shout out to the Severed podcast.
Check it out. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is like a spiritual companion piece.
Mm-hmm.
Check out an episode and go to the pod. I was kind of doing that when we watched The Last of Us too.
I definitely was listening to the Last of Us podcast.
Dude, Troy Baker, that was fucking sick.
I fucking love Troy Baker, man.
He's so good.
This is my fucking guy.
This is my guy. Me at Adam Scott right now. Dude, after this insane
performance by Adam Scott in this series, man.
Fantastic.
Anytime I see him, all I can think of is Derek.
I know.
From Step Brothers.
Comedic roles. That's, and Derek is the first for me too. That's the first movie I ever saw him in, Step Brothers.
Yeah.
So before we get into it a little deeper, let's just kind of drop, the main, the story.
The premise.
Yeah, the premise of Severed. For anyone who hasn't got into it yet that may be listening.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, if you will, you can undergo this procedure that basically cuts your memory in half. You don't have any memories when you go into work. You become a different person, essentially. And when you're at work, you have no memories of the outside world.
Immediately fucky. Just like right off rip.
And Yeah, it's a whole company that has like an entire floor of these employees who go into work, and for them on the outside, their perspective is they go into the elevator and then they come out and they go home, and it's 8 hours later.
I can't. It hurts me to think about the concepts in this show.
Whereas the work persona, the innie, if you will, uh, never leaves. They never get to leave and go home.
That's the truly terrifying concept.
They come in for their shift, and then they go into the elevator, and then the door opens and they're back for their shift.
I can't. I don't like that.
So it's tomorrow. It's actually Monday. A weekend has passed.
I love that. Yeah. It's fucking nuts.
It's
and
so crazy.
it's nice that they have, that character that you're referring to,
Helly.
as the character we can relate to the most, as if we're just going into this experience as well.
Yeah.
And we're learning with her how this shit works.
Well, yeah, I mean, the show opens with her.
Exactly. Yeah. Super effective scene, too. I mean, it's very grasping.
Who are you?
Yeah. Fucks up the introduction. So what drew you to this show when you first heard about it? I mean, honestly, I understand the concept enough is like, holy shit, that's
Yeah.
wild.
So I got it as like I got a trailer for it as like an ad on YouTube.
Oh, good old classic advertising.
Yeah, and it was like the whole like 2-minute trailer, 2.5-minute trailer, and I just didn't skip it because I was like, okay, I'll check this out. This
You
looks
saw Adam
cool.
Scott first.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Derek?
he's in this, and I started watching the trailer, and then it just gets crazier and crazier,
Yeah.
and I was like, what is this concept? I love it, and I always meant to watch it because I think I saw trailers for it when it first came out in like 2020.
Gotcha. Yeah. But it was Apple TV, so.
But it was Apple TV, and I didn't have Apple TV, and I wasn't really gonna get Apple TV.
Wasn't time.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready to watch Ted Lasso yet.
No. I was not. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
That's all I have to say.
But then eventually, I was able to watch it with my friend Dan, with our friend Dan.
Yeah.
And because he had watched it and he was all about it. He was like singing its praises. Our friend Ben watched it and he was like, "Yeah, no, this show's crazy. You got to watch this."
Yeah.
So I got it, and then there's thanks to owning a PlayStation 5.
This
Literally,
is good. Yeah.
literally just you own it. So here you go. Have 6 months of Apple TV for free.
It's pretty cool. It's a good offer to take advantage of.
Yeah,
for any
sure.
PS5 users out there.
Definitely. Especially if you're listening to this and you go, "Oh, this concept sounds pretty cool. I want to watch Severance."
Check it out.
If you have a PS5, get that trial, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I just watched it on there, and I was blown away by pretty much everything about it.
Oh yeah.
By the end of it, my jaw was just like consistently dropped.
Dude, man. Yeah, being at episode 2, I don't know anything. You know what I mean?
And like doing a rewatch and seeing all the different things that happen and characters and interactions that they have in like the light of like knowing where everything goes.
Right. Whole new experience.
It's so good. It's so good.
See things piecing together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going back and watching like Prisoners again or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy. The pilot really hooks you, I think, from the first scene.
I'm waking
intense.
up on that table. Yeah.
Just some like overarching thoughts about the show from what I've experienced and what I really enjoy about it to recommend to other people. It's shot so beautifully.
The cinematography, man.
Like the color grading is so good. I love the palettes throughout the scenes. Like this office space they're in is like very like greens.
Dark greens, white, like
Yeah.
cubicle
Yeah.
whites.
It's such an odd
It's
space.
like displaced from time.
It's so strange, but I love it. It's
Oh
great.
yeah,
The production design's great. Like this building that they found to
dude.
be the
The
corporation
Lumen headquarters,
is just so menacing.
this
They
mega
really,
monolithic building.
yeah. You'll know it when you see it. It's just you look at it and it's scary.
You go, that's where we need to shoot this show.
Dude, like the drone shot in the first episode coming up.
Yes.
Oh, it's so intimidating, and it's just tiny Mark walking into work.
And then he
This
walks
giant
in,
building.
and it's just a huge empty space, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just crazy.
So cinematography is just fantastic.
I love the characterization of like pretty much every character as well.
Yeah,
Like the way like Dylan is so incentive pilled.
Dylan
he's
is
the
is he the
he's the finger trap guy.
Yes, okay. Yeah. Oh my god.
Irv is, such a stickler for the rules.
Yes.
John
Yes, he is.
Turturro.
I also man, something's going on with Irv. I don't know what's going on with Irv.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
I know.
I'm only 2 episodes in. Dude, and it's so episode 2 gets so wild. Like it's like even a step up from the first one, which you would expect, but it's just like you don't know in what ways it's going to get crazier.
How does it get crazier? And then it's time to go to the break room.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, man. Visuals fantastic. Ben Stiller killed the directing with this. The theme song is so haunting and
yes.
unsettling, but beautiful at the same time.
I love it.
I really enjoy it. Just when you hear that piano, the bum, bum, it's just perfect.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, it gets stuck in my head.
It's
I swear to God, I went to sleep with that like playing in my head last night.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's really good, and the actors are incredible.
They just have outstanding performances from
for sure. I mean, I've never seen Adam Scott in a role like this,
in like a serious role.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's things out there. It's just haven't come to my attention.
Yeah,
I've always seen him in funny stuff.
Mhm.
He was in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
This is just really different, and it's really awesome to see him pull into something different and
just
play
knock it
a
out of the
sad, fucked up person.
Dude, he just wants people to think he's a fucked up person.
He really fucking does, man. Poor guy.
Poor Mark Scout.
Yeah, Mark Scout, dude. Christopher Walken is in this. Like, I haven't seen Christopher Walken in anything for a while.
I love him so much.
I just got his introduction last episode. Awesome.
Good old Bert.
Good old Bert, dude.
You met Bert? He's a fuck.
He's a fuck. Bert's not
a fuck.
He's so like stern on it. I love it.
So good.
What are some other things, man? Like other just broad strokes about it that you really enjoyed before we get deep into it?
I really liked that this is something that like I learned at least from the Severed podcast. They filmed it all like on location in the middle of winter so they could have like real
that authentic feel.
Like that way it felt like, okay, we're in the middle of winter. There's snow on the ground.
There's a lot of big sweeping shots, so yeah.
And I just respected that as opposed to like doing fake snow and trying to make it look like winter. And
for sure. Yeah, actually going out there and doing it.
I think that was like a Ben Stiller decision. He was like, we got to do this in like February.
For sure, dude. I mean, yeah, hell yeah. It really adds to it, I mean, who needs makeup to make them look like they're cold? Just make your actors cold.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Honestly, though, it adds a lot to productions. We say it all the time. I would rather see things done real instead of throwing like some VFX over top of it.
Anything else on your end?
I'm just like constantly stunned by the production design and in the building, dude. Like
It's so crazy.
the maze like hallways
Yes.
that lead to this otherworldly space that is the office. It's just very unsettling.
The
And
first time Mark enters and you get that
yeah,
like minute and a half long walking scene
I'm
of
like,
him just
how many takes did they have to do? Like, it's so hard not to look at a camera when it's right in front of you for
dude,
that
yeah, and
long.
he doesn't. He
It's
doesn't.
nuts. It's nuts.
They probably got somebody up behind the camera going like eyes up here, eyes up here, eyes up
Yeah,
here.
look this way. Look this way. Yeah, dude. The production's design just is fucking fantastic. Um, as an overview, I think that's pretty much what I got. I
Yeah.
can't recommend it enough. It is gripping. It's intense. It gives me almost constant anxiety. And that means
Yeah.
it's a good show. It's making me feel
Something.
something. I don't know what's coming. I'm just fucking scared.
I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
So yeah, let's dive into it, man. Let's dive into it.
All right.
Episode 1.
Episode 1, The Good News About Hell. What an episode name.
That's for starters, that's insane. The good news about hell is that you don't remember any of it, I guess.
Yeah, true.
The Audi you.
I think it's a reference to what Miss Cobell says to Mark.
Yep.
My mother was an atheist. And she said, there's good news and bad news about hell.
Yep. Oh my god.
The good news is that it's not real. But the bad news is that human beings can create anything they imagine.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
That's a scene.
Thanks.
Man, I mean this show opens up with Mark just sobbing in his fucking car.
Well, it opens up with Helly on the table.
Oh, right. Right.
That's how it opens up.
And then after that,
After
we
you get to the
that.
title card.
Right. Okay. Okay. So yeah. No, the opening is that's what hooks you, man.
Yeah. It's a black screen, like the screen's black, and then all you hear is, "Who are you? Who are you? What?"
And then she's
she's
waking up, dude. The
she's
bird's eye
splayed
view
out on the table,
above the table, man. That shot was fucking good, so good.
waking up in like a conference room on a table.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
She has no idea where she is. Who's talking to her?
yeah,
She gets up and she's like having trouble walking.
dude. I mean, you figure out more about that in episode 2.
Yeah. She's all
But yeah, this is
locked
the first day
in.
of work at Lumen. This is how this goes.
Welcome to orientation.
Welcome to the orientation on the
I'm
7th
sorry,
floor.
it seems I got ahead of myself.
Yeah. He skipped the fucking
Preamble.
the preamble. Who are you?
5 questions.
But it's a very scary situation to open this show on. This girl is confused. She doesn't know who she is. She can't remember. She
can't remember her mom's eye color.
Dude, those questions are like they get you, man. It's like you really are losing who you were.
What is your name? What state were you born in?
Yeah.
Name any state.
Yeah.
What is Keir Egan's favorite breakfast? And then what is the color of your mother's eyes?
Dude. You know what that kind of reminded me of? Possessor.
Yeah.
You remember that? Like after she would get done possessing somebody.
Yeah, she'd have to do like the personality check.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's crazy, man.
It's like to make sure that the severance procedure went smoothly.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah. Basically, a new person is kind of born.
Yeah.
Within this facility.
Yeah, it's a separate self. For sure. And that I think that becomes like one of the main kind of plot points of the show is like,
Yes.
because like later on in this episode, Mark is at the dinner table and they are talking, and the one lady's like, "Oh, well, I wonder how I would always be wondering about the other one."
Yeah, what are they
And
up to?
Mark just says, "There is no other one. It's me. I go in and I do the work."
Yep.
He very much is like, we're not separate people.
Yeah, he's super like, yeah.
Whereas like,
And also his work self
yeah,
is also like, oh, you get to leave at 5. Like, it's not a big deal. It's so
Mhm.
weird. Like, they're both kind of okay with, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, he says, I was on the same table you were,
Exactly.
and a disembodied voice asked me who I was, and I couldn't remember, and I told him that I would find him and kill him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Did you find him, or did you kill him?" And he's like, "No." That voice turned out to be Petey, and he became my best friend. So there is a life to be had here.
That's insane. This is insane. This is insanity. Just to hear. And I love that she's like so with the audience, Helly's
Yes.
character.
She's like, no, this is weird. I don't like
He became
this.
my best friend. Throws the fucking
He tries
speaker
to
at
read the fucking thing about
Yeah.
Severance, and she picks up the like desk speaker.
Yeah, dude. Drills his ass with it.
God.
Jesus, man. Um,
Mark, I would like to leave the building now.
ask me one more time.
Dude, and then yeah,
And I'm like, okay, she gets to leave.
She gets to leave. She
for
gets
sure.
to leave. And they go to the hallway, and he stops, and he's like, "All right, there you go. There's the exit."
Right on through those doors. Then we
I
get
can't.
like,
I can't see you. I can't watch you leave.
yeah, dude. What the fuck?
What? And then yeah, dude, those shots of her leaving.
That's one of my favorite shots that I've seen in the show so far. It's just nuts. They make it look like she's going one way, like she pushes out to go out, and then it's just
She's walking
in there.
through the door that she just opened back in.
I have not gotten to look. I wanted to look up how they got that fucking shot.
Dude, I can't remember how. I think they talk about it in the Severed podcast.
They do?
I think so.
I'm gonna have to listen to the pod, man.
But yeah, that shot is crazy.
Oh, it's so fucking cool, dude. It's just like you don't see shit like that very often.
Also, to just talk about like how like fucked this is. Her immediate first thought of what happened to her when she's talking to Mark in the conference room is, am I food?
Oh my god. She said, am I livestock?
Did you grow me for livestock? And he's like, you think that we grew you and gave you consciousness and did your makeup and dressed you for livestock? And she's like, I don't know you.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
it's
he's like, good lord.
It's a weird thing to say, but it's like when you're in her shoes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the fuck? Did you make me?
Yeah, dude. And then from there, they go meet Miss Cobell. And well, yeah, I mean, we're just kind of blowing through Helly's like orientation. We didn't even talk about after the title card, Mark crying.
Yeah, that's when we get his, his side of things.
His entrance into his work day. He gets his little, 15-minute pre-work cry in, pre-work sob.
Listen, man, we've been there, right?
We have.
We've all been there.
We have been there. I feel you, Mark Scout.
I feel you, Mark Scout. You just got to get it out and go in and get it over with.
Yep.
And then he just fucking goes right in, dude. He wipes his face.
Building. Yeah, he's got his little handkerchief or whatever. Pockets it, goes in.
This is also the anniversary. It's coming up on the anniversary of his wife's death.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
So our man's is extra upset.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then he goes in, gets to his work locker, takes off his boots, puts his coat away, has to put on a different pair of
A
shoes.
different watch. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, this is
he takes
insane.
off his ID badge and replaces it with like a blue card.
Yeah.
And then has to take off his nice watch and replace it with like a watch with no features on it.
Yeah. Like, what is happening? Jesus Christ. And he's so dead in the face while he's doing all this.
Yeah. And then he gets into that elevator, man. And that shot is one of the coolest ones for me.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
It's like that.
When you enter into the severed floor, it like space like kind of distorts behind his head a little bit to like signify the transition.
It's so cool because it's not anything super flashy. It's just like they make it unsettling just enough to be like, oh, okay, yeah,
It's pretty good.
it's happened. That's like either pulling the camera out while zooming in,
I
or
think
going
that's what they did.
in while pulling out. Pretty sure Spielberg was the first to do that in Jaws.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, when it's when I think of the first attack scene.
Okay.
It's a really long one, like
Yeah.
This is like super small, and just to signify that the switch has happened, and it's super effective. I really enjoyed it.
And then Mark Scout is gone, and Mark S has arrived.
Mark S.
And man, he's just going about his day. He's happy to be there.
Yep.
And then we get that 1.5 minute long walking shot. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out the tissue he was using. And he's like, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell? And he throws it away. And then for the rest of the walk, he's going.
He's a sniffly boy. It's like getting a cold on the outside and then coming in feeling like that. And you just don't really know why you feel like that.
Dude, it's fucked up.
It's crazy.
It's fucked up, man. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Talk about ethics, right?
Dude, yeah.
So you get the orientation from Mark's perspective, and
Get to meet his coworkers,
right?
Dylan and Irv.
I love Irv.
Hi kids, what's for dinner?
What's for dinner? No.
God damn it, Irv.
Oh my god.
I can't remember. I know Dylan's actor's name is Zac Cherry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Zac Cherry is his name.
Another Zac.
Mm-hmm.
We're mind melded.
There it is. Name brother.
Name brother. I'm glad you're
here, name brother.
Oh man. Yeah, we get that fleshed out. We get to see what they do at work. It's not really explained too much in episode 1, except
they're turning on their computers, and Dylan is almost done with the Tumwater file, whatever that means.
What the fuck does that mean?
And then Mr. Milchek comes in. Hi, Mr. Milchek.
I don't like Mr. Milchek.
Good old. What do you mean? He's just their like middle management, like boss. You know what I mean?
He's fucking scary, dude.
I hate it. I hate him. He sucks.
He's a nice guy.
But he can't, because he can't always be a nice guy.
Oh my god.
And then he takes Mark out to go see their boss, Miss Cobell.
Miss Cobell.
And
the board is with us.
The board is with them. It's a little.
What an odd scene. It's so off-putting, dude.
The little fucking desk speaker.
Yes.
It's got like a camera in it, I think, or something.
Yes.
And they basically just have like an amp cord that they plug in.
Yeah.
The board will not be contributing to this meeting vocally.
Dude,
It's
Do you know
just
what her actress's name is?
Patricia Arquette,
Patricia Arquette. Holy shit. She is intimidating.
dude.
She brings a presence
Yeah,
on screen, and you just don't want to be
she's got
near her.
she's got big like dommy mommy vibes.
Big Dommy mommy vibes. The board will not be contributing.
Are you mad at me?
Dude, you can request a handshake. May I have a handshake, please? Like he's like, I love that scene.
Dude, it's so good.
He's like proud of himself. He really like this Mark S is
Yeah,
just
I mean
in this job.
So yeah, we learned that well, before he gets called out, we learn that Petey, the fourth member of their group, isn't there.
Yes, sir.
And then he gets called out, and Miss Cobell tells him that Petey is no longer with the company. He is assuming that Petey's out sick and that he's going to be in charge for the day. And she cuts him off and is like, Petey's no longer with this company. And he's like, what? I said, Petey is no longer with this company. And then Mr. Milchick's in the background. He's like, I'm sorry, Mark. You two are one of my favorite office friendships.
Oh my God, it's so weird. They're just controlling these people.
You said he does not look real.
He doesn't look. They're making him look. He's so just fake. Like everything. He has this
in the trailer
fake sincerity.
At the end of one of the trailers, he's talking to Mark and he's like, you have to be able to make your eyes look kind. Do you know how to make your eyes look kind, Mark?
Wow, yeah, I haven't gotten that line yet.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He's fucking, oh God. I don't even know what's going to happen. You know, I'm on episode 2. God damn, dude.
But yeah, so we get the scene of Mark being promoted to department chief. He has to trade in his blue key card for a blue key card.
Oh my God, it's the same fucking one, dude. I was like, are you serious?
And then, yeah, she hits him with a handshake is available upon request.
Yeah.
And then I love that
his delivery on it.
Yeah, I love that it's not an immediate, like, oh, thank you, can I have a handshake? It's like, thank you. Can I have a handshake?
It's like he
it was like
he feels like he deserved it, but he's also just like, I don't know how to like nail that performance.
These characters feel like children.
It's insane. No, you're right. I saw that a lot more in episode 2.
Like Mark S is 2 years old.
It's kind of insane.
It's crazy.
Irving is also how old is he?
He's worked there for 3 years.
Yeah, okay. Dude.
But yeah, so then after that happens, they go back to back to macro data refinement.
Macro data refinement. That's their position. And then in the goddamn labyrinth.
Dude, in the labyrinth, yeah. And then get to see the video that Helly R's Audi made for her.
Yep. Audi. Got Audis and innies, man.
Audis and innies.
It's very it's just so weird. She's sitting there watching herself and she seems so happy when she's in the video interview.
I was gonna say that's like your little exposition dump on what Severance is.
Yeah.
Because Mark doesn't get to like really describe it during the orientation meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, because she gives the whole I'm electing to undergo the procedure colloquially known as severance. I'm aware that this surgery is irreversible. Yes. I'm aware that my memories will now be spatially dictated.
What a fucky sentence, dude.
Whenever I am on the severed floor.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I make these statements freely.
With like a weird kind of not so happy, like the smile again, it just feels fake.
And then you hear Mr. Milchick go, "Great, all right, that's a wrap." And then he stops the recording. And he's like, "All right, go on."
Yeah, go on to your desk.
He's like a fucking, like a daycare worker,
like a scary one that you don't want.
like a bad teacher.
Yeah. Yes. Um. Jesus. And then that's like the first. What does anything else significant happen?
In the first episode?
I mean, like for that's like the first half, right? Of the first
Pretty much,
episode
yeah. Because then after that, I don't think anything else happens.
until he leaves.
Yeah, and then he leaves and he runs into Helly outside.
Yeah.
Almost hits her with his car. Because he gets to his car and he realizes there's a little note on
Oh
his
my God.
windshield.
Yeah.
And he takes out and it's from Lumen and it's like, hey, you sustained a minor injury to the temple changing a water cooler.
Yeah.
Here's a complimentary meal in the VIP section at Pip's Pub and Grill.
It's fucking Pips, dude.
And then he like feels his temple and he's like, "What the hell? I have a Band-Aid here?"
Yeah. It's kind of nuts. I mean, for one, yeah, they lied.
They lied to him.
You don't know what's happening to you in there, man. And as Mark will say, that's kind of the point.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, they run in and he's driving out and he's like
runs
feeling
her
his
ass
temple.
over.
And yeah, she's got flowers and she's like, "Hey, maybe watch where you're going on the icy road."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "I said sorry."
Sorry.
And then, yeah, he goes home and gets drunk.
They staggered their exits.
They stagger your exits?
You can leave at 5. Well,
5:15.
5:15.
And then, yeah, he goes home and he gets drunk. My man gets home,
Dude.
sits in the dark, and immediately opens up a beer.
There's like 2 lights on, and they're not where he's at.
No, he's got like a light above his like kitchen island, and then he's got a light like inside his fish tank.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's like all the light that he has.
In his little Lumen house.
Yeah, subsidized property.
Jesus.
And then yeah, you get he's just kind of drinking on the couch, and then you hear knock, 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 motherfucker.
Open up.
Goes to the door, and his sister's there. It's his sister.
Hits him with a "you forgot, didn't you?"
She's like, "Hey." He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah, she goes, You forgot." He's like, yeah.
I really like his relationship with his
Me
sister.
too.
That's, I think, the most human you see Mark's Audi, his actual personality. They have a really fun relationship. They poke at each other. It's very
very
personal.
sibling.
Yeah, sibling rivalry.
You can tell that they're like a close
Yeah,
pair.
for sure. Yeah.
And then they go to. He's like, she's like, "You want to put some pants on?"
Yeah, right. Because they're going to a fucking dude. Fuck that dinner, dude. So ridiculous.
She drives him up, and then you get to meet her husband, my man, the absolute goat, the greatest to ever do it, Rickon.
Fucking Rickon, dude.
Dude, when they pull up, and he's like, "Hey, Rick," and Rickon's like, no, come on, it's Rickon, come here.
It's I know, like he corrects him like in a happy way. It's Rickon.
I love him.
Come here.
I love him so much. He's such a fucking airhead.
I know, but it's like he talks so like
as if he's intelligent.
Yeah, it's so goddamn funny, dude.
And so it turns out we're going to this dinner where the meal isn't for our stomachs, it's for our brains. We're having an intellectual dinner.
I hate it.
And it's Rickon and like his, I don't know if it's like his followers or people who are just like cool with him or what.
Yeah.
But it's like a like-minded crowd.
Right. They all talk like college professors or some shit. That's kind of what I thought. I was like,
I was reading a dissertation on the long-term effects of death in World War I. War porn, I know.
Jesus, for real, dude. Oh, it was killing me. And they definitely put you in as like you are Mark, and that
Yeah.
like as the viewer,
You
you're
just
with
feel
him.
you feel as uncomfortable as he does
Yeah,
as
you're
all of
like,
this is
what
going
the
on.
fuck is
This dude is
happening?
trying to sound so fucking smart by going like, "Oh yeah, apparently it would have been a faux pas to call it world. They didn't call it World War One. It would have been a faux pas."
Oh my god, I
And
love it.
Mark, who was a World War, like he says it to Mark, who is a World War One like history professor. He taught
Yeah.
at college before he came to Lumen. He's like, uh, yeah, they they wouldn't have called it World War One because World War Two hadn't happened yet.
Dude. And the dude's like, oh.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh yeah,
She's like, what the
good
fuck,
point.
dude?
Like what the hell?
Lady immediately goes, so.
Oh man, and
I
then
heard.
Mark's yeah, because
Yeah.
Rickon is like Mark taught Mark's late wife Gemma was a professor in Russian literature at the same college.
Yeah.
But Mark's a Lumen man now. And then everybody there is like,
Yeah.
oh, so do you make the pharmaceuticals? Oh, are you in this department? I thought they did this. They kind of do a little bit of everything, right? They're just all talking over him.
Yeah. Yep.
He's like, nah, I'm in like the records department. And then they're like, oh, so you know all the dirty little secrets. Ha 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 ha.
No.
And then Rickon,
you fucking moron.
Rickon, I love him, but goddamn, you
fucking idiot, dude.
He's like, no, well, what Mark does is actually sensitive enough that he has had to undergo the. It's like as he says
Yes.
it, he like knows that he's fucking up.
Very much so,
He's like
dude.
he's had to undergo the severance procedure.
Yeah, he's like,
And
shit.
then the one chick, dude, she's like,
goes in on him, dude.
I'm activated. Just starts grilling his ass.
Well, it's just like the immediate, ethical concerns.
Mhm.
They're like, yeah. What would happen? What happens to the other one?
I think it's fascinating, really. I would just always be thinking about the other me. And he's like, there is no other me.
Yeah, that's when he goes hard into that. He gets pretty defensive.
Well, yeah, because they start talking about it all, and then they start grilling him, and he's like, I leave at like 5:15. They stagger us, and she's like, they stagger you? They stagger you? Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
And they're talking about like, I don't even know I guess I just don't grasp the visceral element of it.
Like asking what it feels like.
Yeah. And then the dude who was like, war porn, I know.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I think I can explain this one for you, Mark.
Huh?
And he starts talking about how, your memories are separated, so your work self has no memories of your outside world. And it's almost like they're trapped there. And then like Mark looks at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, not trapped, but, and then Mark cuts him off and hits him with the, but what?
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Not trapped, but what?
Ouch.
But then Rickon comes in with the, look.
Yeah, right. He's got
Mark made a decision.
Yeah.
A very controversial, morally questionable decision. But Mark, I just want you to know that I stand by you no matter what.
Oh my god.
And then everybody around the table is like, oh yeah. The one chick who's like she's just like like not there.
Yeah, right.
She's like, oh yes, I stand behind Mark.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like what was this?
And Mark's just like, thank you. That's very sweet.
Yeah, for real.
They keep talking about their like intellectual dinner, and I love that it hard cuts from them talking about like food for the brain to Mark's sister cutting a sandwich.
Yeah, right. Let's eat some fucking food.
She says, if I give you $3,000, will you forgive me?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Nope.
He said, well, since your child has nothing to do with this. I'll wait until they're born to kill you.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Oh my god. Dude, then we get the fucking funniest scene in episode
this
1.
is why I love Rickon, man.
Oh my god.
She's like, yeah, you should stay with us. You've had a little bit to drink. And he's like, I'm not staying with you. Hard cut to Mark in pajamas sitting on a race car bed.
Love it. Love it.
As Rickon is like
next to him.
He's like, sorry, the twin doesn't have. I haven't finished the sheets for the twin bed yet.
Yeah.
But this one's nice.
It's like he's fucking like hand crafting the
woven,
sheets.
yeah.
My man's has all 3 beds like for childhood development
Dude,
in one room.
Well, the pajamas are hand woven on a loom, so you should sleep well.
Yeah, right. What the fuck, dude?
And then he's like, I just don't understand why there are 3 beds. It's like, oh yes, well, his sister's like, one of Rickon's friends told him. I love that she's like, one of Rickon's friends told him about the effects that this could have.
Oh my god.
And he's like, yeah, apparently, if you swap out your child's beds as they age, you can traumatize them. But if you provide them with all of their beds, with all of their needs at the start, the transition will be much smoother.
Dude, fucking insanity. Oh my god.
And then he gets
it.
nice and close to Mark.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he fucking grabs his foot, dude.
Grabs him on the foot, and he's like, I think people really liked you tonight, Mark.
Dude, why? That fucking line, dude. Rickon is so...
I love him.
He's
I love him.
just so goofy, dude. Grabs his foot.
I think people really enjoyed you tonight, Mark.
And then he leaves.
And he leaves to go, and he's like, good night.
Jesus. Then we get introduced to the window man.
Not the window man. New sleep paralysis demon unlocked.
The window man. He's right there with the hat man.
Yeah. Mark can't sleep, so he goes out to get a drink of water. And as he's looking out the window, he sees the window man. Just a dude in a suit standing in his sister's yard.
Yeah, dude.
And then a car drives by and shines a bright light, and by the time he looks back again, he's gone. And he stays up the rest of the night.
Yeah, dude. I feel it. That's fucking horrific.
His sister comes down and he's like, there was a businessman in your yard last night.
Yeah, dude.
And she's like, a businessman. And then she like tries to play it off with a joke, and he's like, I'm serious. She's like, there was somebody in my yard last night? Just yikes.
It's played off well though, because then she rationalizes like, "Oh, there's a bar down the road."
Yeah, she's like, "There's a bar down the road. It was probably just a stumbler."
Yeah.
And then Mark goes home.
Dude, the trash cans.
The trash cans.
He's constantly on the phone with Mrs. Selvig.
Yeah, Mrs. Selvig, and he's doing. You get to see him do his gutters.
Yeah,
he's cleaning his gutters. He doesn't even get to enjoy his time off.
No. No. And when he's not doing that, he's sitting in the dark and drinking. Yeah. It's fucking sad, dude.
Yeah.
Like you get drunk in the dark, you wake up in the morning.
And then you go skip 8 hours of your day.
And then you get drunk in the dark.
You get drunk in the dark.
Jesus, dude. Like that is so, and it's winter. That is so fucking depressing, dude. It's like real bad. Which adds a lot to the show for sure.
Very much so.
Then it gets wild when we meet Petey.
Yeah, he goes to get his VIP meal at Pip's. He's on the phone with Mrs. Selvig again.
I know
about
it's
the
weird.
Trash cans, and and she's like, "Oh, are you are you on a date? Are you at a dinner?" And he's like, "I'm at dinner. I'm at Pip's." And then as he's talking to her, Petey just shows up, slides in, and is like, "Hang up the phone now."
Dude, yep.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Selvig. They've cooked the food, and it's here now.
it's such like a
Such a
robotic response.
it's such a bad
Yeah.
way to end the conversation.
They've cooked the food and it's here now.
Goodbye.
He's such an awkward person, and I love it.
And I love that the PD greets him with, "Hi kids, what's for dinner?"
Oh my god.
And Mark just looks at
He's
him
like,
and he's like,
yeah,
"You wouldn't get it."
right. Oh, dude.
And then he introduces himself as PD from work.
Yep.
Mark's like, "That's not possible." He's like, "Yeah, well, I've reintegrated.
Fucking insane.
I've combined my memories again. I'm the first one who's ever done it." And he's like, "Mark, it's not what they say it is."
Yeah, you need somebody to push you in that direction to be like letting outside Mark like, hey,
He's like the catalyst
for sure.
of the events of the show.
Yeah, most
He
definitely.
shows up. He's like, "It's not what they say it is. They do things down there. They don't tell people about. Somebody has to know this information." And he gives Mark,
in case something happens to me.
And he's like, "They're probably looking for me. Grainer's probably looking for me now." And then he leaves, and Mark's like, so what, are we like friends or something down there?" And he's like, "I'm your best friend. You're my very good friend."
That line kind of hit in a weird way too. I didn't know how to interpret that. I was like,
And then he leaves Mark with an envelope with a letter.
Yep.
It's a birthday card for a niece. But then he wrote like a whole novel on it.
Yeah, in an address.
Yeah, gives him an address, tells him it's not what they say it is. They're hiding things. He says, "You and I used to wonder about what kind of monsters would put us down here, but now I know that we're not the monsters."
Dude.
It's like
it's fucked.
And then Mark goes home.
Yeah.
And as he pulls into his driveway, you hear, "Mark." "Oh, hi, Mrs. Selvig." "Mark, I'm so sorry about the trash cans." And then it's revealed that Mrs. Selvig is Mark's boss, Miss Cobell.
Come on, dude. Come on, man.
"Mark, you're good people."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, she hits him with the "my mother was a Catholic."
I love that shit, dude. I love it.
Dude,
in so Lumen, good. She does the hell anthology, and then, oh, dude. Wow. So what a hell of a fucking pilot.
Yeah, that's a big, heavy opener, man.
That ending is like,
nice.
You have to keep watching, bro. You have to keep watching. This, like, I'm on board fully for this, man. And in episode 2,
just kind of keeps the rails going.
Steps
it
up, and I got more anxious. Dude,
you get Helly's first day from Helly's Audie's point of view.
Yeah. They show you
the surgery of the severance procedure, and man, it's not good. It's not good. It's I don't like it. I don't like it.
Dude, you never watched the Saw movies, I'm sure.
No.
Reminiscent of Saw 3
just
when they do
gore.
Surgery on his head. Not as much blood, but it's like, you see the brain. Yeah. That's a brain right there.
I don't like that.
Opening your head up.
Dude, when they pull out the drill.
Oh, God.
And he's like, "You're going to feel some slight vibration now."
She's just in the chair like.
He's taking a picture of her.
Dude, see, that's fucking weird, man. I was like, this guy's fucking weird, all right? What's going on with that?
And then
shit.
You get to see her hallway scene when she walks out and back in and back out.
We finally know what's happening. Yeah, which is really
cool. I really don't want
to
be in there, do I?
Yeah, so she just like in episode 1, she kept trying to leave through the stairwell, but our fucking dude,
Mr. Milchek
is waiting for her.
Yeah, she's like, "I really don't want to be in there, do I?" And he says, "You're learning that you do."
My fucking God. That's so scary, dude. That's such a
It's
scary
insane.
thing to
It's
say.
insane. And then he hits her. Then he's like, "When we heard you were coming here, we were all so excited. What you're doing is wonderful. What you're doing is monumental."
So it makes you, I mean, it just gives you the impression that the company knows these people on a different level and they know from what I'm getting, they know how to, they knew how to manipulate these people into this job and how to keep them there. That's what I'm thinking as of episode 2.
That's, I mean, yeah.
They're like, he's like, we're so happy. Like maybe she doesn't feel wanted or accepted. Like her Audi
So you're telling me it's almost like a cult?
The Lumen.
What do you mean? It's not like the morning checklist for the senior refiner says acknowledge the Kier statue either verbally or non-verbally.
Dude.
Like praise Kier.
Yeah, and I haven't heard, like, I don't know much about what Kier is, except for, like, a couple times I think he came up in episode 2.
He's the
founder of Lumen?
Yeah, he's the founder of Lumen. He was the original CEO.
Jesus, man. Is that the first thing that's on the checklist?
It's the fourth thing. What is Kier Egan's favorite breakfast?
Yeah.
Which I'll say it. Mr. Milchek tells Helly what it is at the beginning of episode 2.
Oh, I missed that.
When they're staring, they're up on that walkway, and he's like, "Oh, I love to see the sun shine on his face."
Yes. Yeah.
And they're talking. He's talking to her, and he's
I
like,
remember. Yeah.
Kier Egan would drink like 3 eggs and milk, like 3 raw eggs and milk every morning. It was his favorite breakfast.
Okay. Yep.
First off, what?
Ew. Come on, dude. That's fucked up.
That's gross.
He's just that's the kind of man he is. He's
Apparently.
all raw.
Apparently. And then there's you get that hallway scene, and then she goes home. And then you get to see it from Helly's perspective, where she goes out and then right back in.
I loved it. Loved it.
She comes in and she's like, "So it's Monday? Or so it's tomorrow?"
Yeah.
Mark's like, "No, it's actually Monday."
A whole weekend went by.
That's fucked.
That hit me, dude. It started getting hard to breathe when I heard that.
Dude,
I was like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, very much so.
You're stuck in these tiny hallways, and they really go in depth with the characters a little bit more in this episode.
Yeah.
You get to know a little bit more about them. Like Irving, for example.
Dude, Irving.
They just kind of show how much he's noticed. You know, this leads into Christopher Walken's introduction as well. How much he noticed, like, what they do to change the hallways, what they do to change the design of the place.
He's just like so lumen pilled.
Irving?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, most definitely.
Dude, when Mark comes in for the morning checklist and he hides all the he's dusting off all the
yes,
the pictures, the group photos. Irving is just like the most lumen pilled member around. He's like,
for sure.
Oh yeah, he's because Mark hides the group photos because he gets sad seeing Petey.
Right. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I thought you were. I'm pretty sure the handbook actually says you're supposed to leave them out until."
Yeah. He pulls his fucking thing down.
Let's wall.
Briefly talk about the cubicle setup.
The space, I love this because it's a huge office space.
Huge.
But the cubicles are right next to each other.
A dead center in the middle of the room. And there's, you have a privacy wall on each side, but there is just enough space
in the middle to where like you can see whoever is diagonal from you.
And it's all part of making you feel uncomfortably close and claustrophobic.
Yes.
Super effective. Something I forgot to
it's
bring
so
up.
Good. It's so good.
And also, I forgot to bring up in episode 1, fucking 80% of the time, You're looking at a character. They are framed in a box. They're stuck.
Yes.
They're stuck. Inside of a rectangle, a square. Like when he's walking through the hallways, it's just so perfectly centered that he is just stuck in there.
Yep.
Like these characters are in a box in a prison.
It's
tucked away. Like the cinematography is very intentional
in the
with
middle
that.
of nowhere, dude. They're like in a different dimension at this point.
Fucking insane. So I just wanted to say that
Yeah.
and that goes along with the production design I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. Just very, very good stuff. But yeah, concerning characters, he pulls that fucking thing down, Irving, and he's a stickler for the Lumen rules.
He's like, Mark, I noticed that the group photos are missing.
Yeah.
And Mark's just like, yeah, we're gonna take the new one at Helly's party today. And he puts it back up, and then like 30 seconds later, he's like, I think in the handbook the rule says that the pictures should be left out until the photo is taken. And Mark just doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And he puts it back up and stands up and walks over to the printer.
Oh my God.
And comes back over to him and he's like, Mark, I printed out the section of the handbook with the rule about the group photo. If you'd like to peruse it.
Oh my God. Come on, Irving.
Come on, Irv.
And then, dude, the scene where you roll the ball, they're doing the work introduction.
Dude, yeah.
That, we get a little touch of scary Milchek there for a second.
Which one's your favorite? Which core principle? I love all 9 core principles of Lumen. And like that's the core principles of Lumen.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, which one's your favorite? All 9.
Yeah.
But today I'm feeling cheer. What?
Yeah.
And then Helly's like, I don't know anything about myself.
Sure you do.
She's like, no, I don't. I've only been awake for about 10 hours.
Dude.
Yeah, 10 hours.
It's a lot.
And then he's like, I don't think you understand the concept of this.
Yeah. And then he
Everybody,
speaks for
this
her.
is Helly. She has weak enamel, and at 5'4", she's the 4th tallest member of your group.
Like facts that don't matter at all, but it's just things.
And then gives that's his corporate smile.
Yeah, exactly. He puts on that face, that smile.
Rolls the ball over to Mark.
Dude, yeah, Mark. And this is another moment where he feels like a child reaction.
Mm-hmm.
How he kind of fesses up to what he did because Irving. And then Irving's like,
yeah, Irving has his little shit-eating grin on his
fucking
face.
dickhead.
And he's like, I broke protocol today. I was cleaning the group photos and seeing PD made me sad.
Yeah.
So I hid them. And then Irving is immediately like, I can confirm that. I saw it happen.
Yeah. I told him.
And like Milchek's smile is like fading from his face.
Yes.
He's like, he hears that Mark broke protocol and he's like,
dude.
And he's like, well, I can't, like, I'm kind of happy that you're having this reaction, but like, I don't get why PD gets this reaction out of you when, say, Carol D didn't.
Right. Like somebody, yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, when Carol D left, we knew she was leaving, which her Audi made a goodbye video.
Right. Yeah.
But PD just, one day he wasn't here, and I don't know if he's drunk on the beach or hanging out at home or dead, and
he spirals quickly. Yeah.
And Milchek cuts him off hard.
Yes.
And Mark is just like,
dude, it's hang like a child, man. Hangs his head down. It's
and
insane.
And then Milchek gets scary.
Yeah, for sure.
And he does the whole I think an important thing to remember is that things like death happen outside of here. You are safe here.
That's pretty insane.
And I think a proper response to that
Gratitude.
is gratitude.
Wow.
And you know what I also think? That melon isn't getting any juicier.
Yeah, because you got
And
the
it's
melon
like the
cart.
hard cut into the melon party.
Dude. Oh my God. Very good at balancing such scenes too, you know, throughout the show. It's
And then right at, like during the melon party, that's when Helly is like, you know what? I'm done.
yeah, she's like, I don't want to do this.
I don't feel like doing this anymore. I don't feel like doing the whole
Like, oh, well, you can request to quit.
yeah.
Good
But
luck with that, though.
it'll probably get deleted. Well, she walks up to Mark and she's like, "So what are you gonna do about Petey?" And he's like, "Oh, I think Milchek made it pretty clear."
Yeah.
And she's like, "So what? You have no idea what happened to your best friend. And you're just gonna leave it at that?"
Oof.
And Mark is just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He's like,
Pretty much.
Well, he tells her, he's like, "Well, Mr. Milchek is a nice person,
Yeah.
and you should really listen to him because he can't always be a nice person."
Yeah. For sure.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Dude, let's talk about Lumen's reward system.
Dude, my man Dylan has joined the chat.
Dylan has joined the chat.
He's like, "All right, here you got your erasers.
You can win erasers as prize.
You got your finger traps."
Symbolic erasers.
So yeah, the erasers are kind of symbolic because they don't give us pencils.
Jesus Christ, what is this? What does it mean?
Try to think of what the finger traps represent. And then if you get 100%, you get a caricature picture.
And he's got a fucking
He's like,
desk
I got a bunch of these. And then he talks about how if you at the end of the quarter, one of them gets named refiner of the quarter, and they get a waffle party.
A waffle party, and he's like, that shit's mine. So I don't even think about it.
Go ahead and keep your hazards on, because I'm a shoe-in for the waffle party.
Yeah. So he's lumen pilled in that regard.
Yeah.
Dude just grinds.
He doesn't care about like the principles of lumen.
Right.
But he's there for the rewards.
That's so insane. It's crazy. He's a fun character, though. He brings a lot of brevity and lightness to a otherwise dark kind of scary place.
Yeah.
Especially when black, the walls start to ooze black slime.
Dude, Irving.
What the fuck is happening with Irving, dude?
Yeah. My man is just sitting there. I loved that long zoom on him.
Yeah.
And then once you're like fully zoomed in, he's just. And then you get that like POV.
Goop.
The wall.
Lumen goop.
POV, the walls are oozing black goop.
Dude, holy shit. I was like, okay, all right.
And he's silent. He's just watching it happen until it touches him.
And he freaks,
and
yeah.
He freaks out. And then he's like.
But they think he's dozing off.
Like, yeah, he's like, I'm sorry.
Dude, when Dylan's like, oh, well, you're the one who got, sent to the break room for dozing off. And dude, Irving's face when he says that.
And then Dylan's like, I'm sorry, that was a little too much.
I don't like the break room.
No. Yeah, well, during the melon party, that's when that happens. You get the whole Helly says, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna quit," and she writes "I quit" on a thing. But prior to this, you have learned that there are code detectors.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That stop you from getting any messages outside of the severed floor.
You cannot speak to your Audi.
And she just writes "I quit" on a Post-it note and runs off into the elevator.
Yeah.
Before she can get in it, the lights go fucking full red.
Oh yeah.
And then
fucking lockdown mode.
And then like government. This dude looks like a government agent.
Yes. Yeah.
Grainer shows up. He pulls her out, looks at the note, and he's like, "All right, how about you come with me?"
He's a very hard face. Like, he doesn't have that fake smile.
No.
It's
he's like,
all
"All right,
business.
You come with me." And then as that's happening, Mark's like outside the door banging on it, going, "Mr. Grainer, Mr. Grainer." He lets him come in, and he's like, "I see you found my wayward trainee."
Yeah, right.
This is actually, I hate to admit it, but it's my first time training somebody, and I guess I forgot to go over data smuggling rules with Helly. So if she tripped the code detectors, that's on me.
On you then.
Big department chief now, huh, Marcus?
Why are they treating these people so bad,
On
dude?
you then.
It's so fucked up.
And then he goes into the break room.
All right, yeah, you think that it's bad, it's tight, the space is tight enough? No, you go into the fucking break
No,
room
walk through this even narrower hallway into this dark room
that led to the boss.
with
right?
Mrs. Or Miss Cobell is in there.
Like what the fuck?
And then from there it like hard cuts. You don't get to see Mark's experience in there.
No, but you get
hard
to
cuts
hear
to his date.
Yeah. Oh my god. Dude's not doing well.
He's
drunk.
so you're a doula. No, it's like a midwife actually.
Yeah,
I'm a
she's
midwife.
Yeah.
How many births have you like seen?
That's like X amount per week, right? Oh my god, it's rough, dude.
It's so rough. And he's just like
tapping for more whiskey.
He's like,
dude.
And then they leave, and he's just shit faced.
Yeah, you get
he forgets where she tells him where she's from,
and
he fucks it up and gets it wrong.
Yup.
And he's like, "Oh, those are different places."
And then goes and harasses.
And then they run into these people on the street who are like,
Severance.
"Do you have a moment to talk about children's brain health?" And yeah, we're trying to boycott a law that's being passed that will force severance on workers. He's like, forced severance? Wow. What about those self-hating types that do it to themselves?
Dude, it's kind of fucking
I hear
insane.
that severed people actually go to 2 separate hells. Is that true?
Oh my god. It's tense, dude. And then he just like blows up and he's just like, all right, let's go.
He's like he's like screaming at this dude. This like
they look college age.
Yeah,
like,
and the dude is like, Severance is not cool, asshole.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, asshole, nice language. What are you? What are you? Fucking 12?
Right.
Are you 12? And the entire time his date is just like,
yeah, dude. He's got the date. She's right next to him. Oof. Big ouchies. Yeah. That didn't go well.
No, not at all. And then the next day, well, no, before that, he gets home from his date, and then,
oh my god,
and then Miss Cobell, Mrs. Selvig, comes and knocks on the damn door, and is like,
I have no clue how to interpret what happened.
I have cookies. I brought you cookies as a peace offering about the trash cans. And she comes in and she's talking to him, and she's like, "Oh, my late husband, God rest his soul, always told me that he'd build us a house in heaven. And he'd work on a guest house, too, in case I had a new suitor when I came up." And Mark's just like, that's nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And then she, like, turns the, like, awkwardness up even more, because she says, "He even made the blueprints. I have them in my purse."
What?
What are you talking about?
So fucking weird. I don't know if you know. I mean, you got to know something about, dude, if anything comes of that.
I mean, I know a little bit more about Miss Cobell and Mrs. Selvig.
Yeah.
It's weird. She's weird, man. Yeah.
She's definitely seems fucking weird. That's about all I got. Scary and weird.
Yeah, scary and weird. And then the next day, Mark calls off work.
This is kind of this is his, wrapping up
it's
episode
like his
2.
Call to action.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, and they're all discussing that he called off that day.
Yeah, he calls off and he's talking to Mr. Milchek.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi, Mr. Milchek. My name is Mark Scout. I'm a severed employee, number like 452.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling in because I have I woke up and I'm not feeling so well." And he's like, Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. May I ask how serious it is?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, nothing too serious, just some minor abdominal pain. I should be back in tomorrow. And there's like a pause.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then he says, oh, well, I hope you feel better, Mr. Scout. I know your innie will be sad to have missed a day.
Dear God. That's so fucking off-putting, dude. Ugh. And then, yeah, man, we meet Petey, dude, and then we find out a little bit of what goes on in that break room.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Like, I haven't seen it. I've only heard Petey had an audio recording of himself in the break room.
I think it sounded like Mark.
Mark was in the break room? Okay.
He said, well, I mean, because Petey says, like, we both have been in there.
Right. Yeah. We get more on Petey in this and what he's going through as his memories are trying to, like, rebind.
Yeah, Mark lets him come home with him to get him out of this greenhouse that he's staying in.
Yeah. Basically in the open cold.
Yeah. He's like, I have reintegration sickness and staying in this greenhouse is not really helping.
Right.
And so Mark's like, well, you can come stay with me. Moves him into his basement.
Which is just so goddamn concerning because Mrs. Selvig be lurking.
Dude, she's just watching through the fucking window. You just see a shot of her standing at her window staring into Mark's house.
I hate it so much. It is so uncomfortable.
And then, yeah.
Petey has a fucking episode in the shower where he sees himself. Dude, another crazy shot, dude. He's in the shower. He looks over, sees Lumen,
like his severed
Petey
form, like washing it, like splashing his face with water in like the Lumen bathroom.
Yeah.
But they're in Mark's basement bathroom, and he sees the two versions of him, and then as soon as they see each other, they both like wince in pain.
Oh, dude.
And he starts to like, he falls back into the shower.
I was like, this man is dead.
Meanwhile, while all that's happening, back at Lumen, they're all wondering about where Mark is.
Yeah.
Helly gets to bag her first. She does her first job, like part of her job. We haven't even talked about that. It's about what their job is.
And I don't even know. I still don't really know what's happening.
They sit at these computers, and it's a big box that has a bunch of random numbers.
Yeah.
And you have to sort them into 5 different boxes based on 4 separate feelings that the numbers give you, including like fear. And when Mark tells Helly about it at first, she's like, the numbers will be scary.
Oh, this 4's pretty scary.
She's like doing it, and she's talking to Dylan, and she's like, oh, a 7. He just says, don't fuck around.
I know, yeah. He's like, he gets real, dude.
And then him and Irv are talking, kind of going at it. Oh, because at that point in time, Irv has gone in for his wellness check.
The wellness check. Which I thought was going to be like a nurse.
Yeah, because he freaked out about the black goop.
Yeah.
And he's looking at that painting, and then out comes the man, the myth, the legend.
Christopher Walken, dude.
Christopher Walken.
Love him so far. Only got about a 3-minute scene with him.
Yeah, just him and Irv talk for a bit. They bond over their shared love of the Lumen art.
Yes. Yep.
Bert is the head of optics and design, another branch of the Lumen severed floor.
Yep.
And they seem to kind of bond and connect on a level, and then it's time for Irving's wellness session with Miss Casey.
Before we talk about that briefly, can I tell you a quote from Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
He was just talking about directing and his experience coming onto set. He's like, so you walk through these maze-like hallways to get to the set, which is like a crazy white maze-like hallways.
Yeah.
And at the end of the hallway is Christopher Walken in surgical gloves, which was a nightmare I had when I was 10.
No,
Like he said, like, which I'm
no.
pretty sure was one of my childhood nightmares.
That's
I was like,
insane.
that's fucking hilarious. I just like see Christopher Walken like standing like this
Oh my
at the end of the
God.
hallway. That's so fucking funny.
I love it.
But yeah, let's talk about this wellness check, man. This kind of everything just throws you for a fucking loop in this show. Like I was like, okay, he's gonna get checked on. My man's seeing black goop.
Nope. He walks in and this lady is sitting in this chair and she dims the lights and puts on some like nice ambient sounds.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "You're going to hear some facts about yourself. Please don't share these facts with anybody else. Your Audi is kind. Your Audi is a friend to the young and the sick and the insane. Your Audi loves the sound of radar." And then like
Loves films,
he loves films and owns a machine that can play them.
dude. And he's like, just like his
Every
face.
time he shows emotion, she's like, "Please try to enjoy each fact equally. That's 10 points off, 90 points remaining."
It's like the Hogwarts fucking point system.
Yeah,
like,
and he's like, "What points?" And she's like, "Please don't speak.
don't talk.
Don't talk."
That's
and
10 points.
And then he talks again, and she's like, "If you talk again, you'll lose all remaining points, and the wellness session will end."
Jesus, man. And then he gets sad for a moment, but then
But then he
it's
just
like,
listens to it, and then he comes back, and he's like, "Yes, the wellness session was very refreshing for me."
how do you feel about that? How it's just like learning these facts about yourself.
I mean,
It's just it feels fucked up. It's
Yeah.
just sick, dude.
yeah.
It just
You
keeps
take
them
away this-
longing for who they are.
Yes. And then him and Dylan get into it over Bert. "Oh, you met Bert? I know Bert. That guy's a fuck."
Yeah.
Bert is not a fuck. And that's when Helly's like, guys,
Yes.
that one. He's like, "Yep, go ahead. Partition it off.
Oh my god.
Do you see the perimeter?
The way that they're just like over her shoulder, like looking.
Go on, just like you did." And she opens up the box. She's like, and puts the numbers in the box.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Dylan's like, "Boom, fucking refined." And then Irv is like, "Hip hip Helly."
Fucking god, Irv.
She's just like, "It was scary. The numbers were scary."
Do you know more about that?
No.
Are you serious? How there's still like, oh my god, there's still a lot to go.
There's a lot of questions that get brought up.
That's insane, man. So that's episode 2.
That's episode 2 for you.
That is Severance, man. The first 2 episodes. I hope we gave a good overview and we really got the tone out to you guys. I can't get over it right now. I'm very much in this.
It's so good.
Very excited to finish it up. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Hit us with some comments. Like, comment, subscribe to our channel.
Bell. Hit that motherfucking bell.
Ring a ding. That's all we got for you guys this week. Please watch Severance. It's a
so
10 out of
good.
10
It's
show
so
for me
good.
right now. You've watched the whole thing. What would you give the rating?
I don't know, probably like a 9.5
That's fair, man.
from season 1 from me. It was a pretty strong hit.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree. Very impactful. All right, guys. That is all we got for today. I am your host, Zac G.
I'm your co-host, Andrew Hall.
And we will be seeing you next time.
Sayonara.